party special people. um, Thank you very much for all the comments, all the subscriptions, all the lovely comments, all the everything. Just thank you very much. You're all amazing, absolutely amazing. Today I've got to do a design for a monster. It's for a character, so I will be doing a few drawings today. So I thought I'd video a couple of the possibles. I'm just going to draw a monster to start with and see where I go with it. I might end up drawing a few of them over the next couple of days. So if you see monster, you go, oh, it's that thing he's working on. But I've got to come up with some kind of monster. It's for some kind of book idea. And I can come up with a special character for it. So, letting you into some secrets, I see. Yeah. Well, I'm dressed all in yellow today, so I'm feeling all kind of golden and sugary and honey-like, so it might be a sweet monster. I'm not sure yet. But that's the idea. So today, we're going to spend our time drawing some monsters. I will be using my Indian ink, and I will be I'll try and talk you through the process. A lot of times when I'm doing design, a lot of people have been asking this. Usually I get a notepad, a simple notepad, like one of these. You kind of get them in like the pound shop or something. Well, you used to get them in the pound shop. They're not a pound anymore. And I usually draw shapes. I usually, don't know if you can see that. There you go. And I kind of draw shapes, and I draw shapes like that. That's the basis of it. I will draw something. Maybe he should be a little bit more kind of square, something like that. And I spend maybe 5-10 minutes just kind of thinking, well, maybe he should be like more kind of long and maybe snake-like. Maybe he should be like, and maybe he's got like little arms or something like that. And I just draw a shape like that. And that shape is enough. That shape, sometimes when I'm working on a character, I will do these type of shapes. Well, maybe he's like, maybe he's round but has a long curly tail, and maybe he's got horns, like. And if you draw shapes, you know what? I quite like that one. Why do I like that one? Doesn't really look like a monster, does it? Okay, well, let's just choose one. I kind of like that one. It's also the only one that's not circular. It's kind of like square, so that's kind of giving me a different feeling. And that's where I work with my designs. And a lot of the times, that's how I kind of keep everything very, very simple. Now, I've talked before about this on the Back to Basics, the Basics to Brilliant videos. If you haven't seen them, go watch some of the early ones. Drawing the hair and the tiger and things like that. These are very, very, very good videos. In fact, they're so popular, I'm going to be doing a whole batch more of them. And what that basically is telling you to work on simple shapes for your mind. And this is very, very important. To kind of enjoy this pleasure of drawing, you need to get something very, very simple. Simplify down a shape. You want to draw some kind of character that's like some kind of snake, some kind of T shape, some kind of S shape, some kind of M shape. What kind of shapes are we thinking about? And sometimes you can also do this if you're doing book designs and stuff like that. You can kind of say, what do you feel, what kind of shape do you feel this character is? And sometimes when the people you're talking to, they might say, well, I always saw him as like a pear shape, like he's got a little head, but he's got a big fat body, something like that. And you go, whoa. Because that will tell you more about the character than all this kind of like, I want him with a hat and I want him. try and talk to them about shapes, because once you start reading the story and you start to pick up what the author has actually put down, you'll start seeing that they're talking about big teeth and they're talking about big kind of bat ears and stuff, and you're going, well, it's not going to be a tiny head, is it? And then when you're reading through it, you can start to put down shapes and only work on shapes. Maybe you can write some things like big bat ears or something like that, but try and simplify down into things of shapes. And what you'll do is the more you read it, the more the shape will come into your mind about what this character looks like, and it will help you so much. Because you'll find that once you come to the author and you have all the elements in the book on that shape, chances are they will love it. It's happened to me many, many times now with doing illustrations for things, trying to simplify things down. Sometimes if you're kind of conflicted by a couple of things that are going on in the story, that he's kind of pear-shaped but he's got huge big teeth, well, huge big teeth on a very small head, maybe you could do two separate designs and try and bring some of the elements into it. You can always present them with a couple of designs. I wouldn't say do too many designs. I think if you really have a grip on what that character is, if you really have an understanding of what that character is, you'll be able to simplify it down into one or two patterns. You don't come up with like 50 designs and give it to it, because you just confuse the hell out of them. Two, if you're really confused and unsure, if there's a third one there that really kind of pulls you, bring that in as well. So today is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to draw some kind of monster. Maybe we'll work off that shape that we've just done, a little bit more of a square block type of character, and it's a little monster. So let's get into it. Are you ready? We're going to draw a monster design for a character that's going to be in a book, and let's see what we can come up with. Okay, enjoy the video. Thank you very much for watching. Very, very much appreciated. All your comments, all your subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It does help. It just kind of makes me know that there's people out there that want to see more videos. That's all it does. I don't get any money for it. It just tells me, oh, there's an extra 5 people that have joined today. That means there's an extra 5 people that I should do more videos for. Oh, there's an extra 10 people. Oh, I should do more videos. And it just kind of tells me that those people are out there that want to see the videos. Okay? So, let's watch the video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, you beautiful people, let's start drawing. We have already talked about the shape and how to structure your drawings with shapes, and so we're going to start off with something. I don't know, I kind of feel with that shape I can't make him too tall, so I'm going to start about there. I kind of like that. Got a nice big thick lovely chunky big line there at the beginning. It's always a nice start. And I'm kind of feeling that because of that shape, it kind of makes me feel like his eyes need to be doing that as well, you know. So I'm going to try and get a nice kind of sneaky little eye in there if I can. Maybe I'll give him like a kind of like a crocodile's eyebrow on top, maybe. You know, when I'm thinking about this is why I think the shape is such an important part of your art here. As you're starting to make this character, now my mind is racing ahead. My mind is saying, if he's so short and he's so chunky and he's so fat and he's such a, what is all this space on my paper? And I'm kind of thinking that I need something there. And I'm almost thinking that wouldn't it be cool if there was a bird or or a bat or some kind of creature like that. And I'm trying to think of how I can kind of bring it in somewhere there. And that's just again about the shape. The whole idea that if I was to, let's just go wild here for a second, and we'll see if we can get some red or green or some kind of, let's get a clean brush, if there's such a thing as a clean brush in my in my collection. Let's go for some green. Let's do a nice green above him. And I'm kind of excited about doing something here that's just and that's come up nice. That feels fabulous. Lovely. That's just giving me this feeling now there's something above him. And that just gets me really, really excited there. Put that back in there. And that's just, again, I'm just seeing how my shape, my square little creature can somehow have, where am I going to have legs? What about if he had these, like sometimes you see those kind of crocodiles on the shore, you know, and they've got these little birds that kind of hang off them almost, like sit around with them, and the birds, they never get eaten by the crocodile or anything like that. So it's like, what a beautiful idea here, just to kind of bring that in. That already makes him such a fabulous character, already by having this extra element to him. And that is just, for me, it's exciting. You know, if I was to buy the toy of it or something like that, I'd be way, way excited by this kind of character. Let's get a nice kind of, oh, that is nice. I like that. Love the way it parallels that. That's just gorgeous. Let's get him to be quite miserable too. Let's get him to have those little sneaky eyes as well. That's nice. And I love the way the head's kind of tucked down, almost like some kind of vulture or something like that. And the way that, you see that, the way that line is just splashed down there is almost indicating that if I was to bring that beak in around that point there, just where it's kind of indicated, following the drawing. We're following what the lines are giving us. It's giving us ideas, and we need to talk with the drawing. If it's suggesting something, then follow it, because you might end up with something working together with your paper, working together with your drawing will end up 1,000 times better than if you just going pig-headed into it and saying, well, I know everything. Just bring that little skinny neck in there. Just give him a nice kind of skinny neck. That's nice. I got a really lovely feeling off that. And that isn't even started on my monster. That! Now we've got to kind of, this is really, I really hope this monster now is going to work out to be really gorgeous, you know. It's like, because everything is there. It's like, lovely. I'll work that in there. I've got to bring the legs. I'll bring another leg down in there as well. So I kind of get that feeling that there's... That's nice. And then we bring the back of the monster's head, bring it all the way back, and it's almost like he's sitting there right on the back of his head here. And that gives us that lovely distance there from there to there on the design. Kind of feel it should have like a, almost like a badger's nose, you know. Almost like a bear or something. And then we're just going to work that eye down, keeping him really nice and serious. How's that looking? Do you see the way I've kind of seen the space and just stepped into that idea? The paper's calling me to do something there, and listening to what the paper is actually giving you there. Now again, I'm just kind of feeling that almost to kind of make him so kind of nasty and mean and gnarly, really. We've got to kind of almost give him the teeth. And I'm really curious about what I can... Nice, big, terrifying teeth. To just let the pen, let the pen feel it. It's just follow what your pen is giving you. Lovely. I like the way the teeth are kind of thickening up a little bit as they get to the back. It's almost like the chewing teeth. That's nice. I'm just trying to see now how I can fit the rest of that body in, because I've got a very, very small kind of dimensions there left for myself by making him so wide. And I've got an idea. What about if I was to use that? Bring something in there. Bring these arms up almost like in a hunched kind of state. Lovely. I've got an idea. He's sitting down. That is so... He's almost a little bit kind of crocodile-like almost. Where's that brush? Giving him some nice texture on his back there. That'll really help us. Just going to give him a little tail there. Now this is a test, remember, this is an idea of what kind of monster we're thinking about. And this might not be the one that we use, but it's definitely given us some real different possibilities for what kind of creature it is. And I'm always very excited when you come up with something that's new, when you see in a different shape and it gives you possibilities. It's like, why have we done it this way? What are we thinking? What is going through our mind? The idea of some kind of creature that's very kind of docile and kind of lazing around and doesn't really do much and then springs into action, like a kind of crocodile or something like that. And this is actually really quite nice. It's almost crocodile-like. I'm almost feeling that maybe he's slightly too crocodile-like, but I like where it's gone. I like where it's taken us into this free kind of monster creature type thing. I like that. I'm kind of thinking of some kind of divide color coming down just to divide up his body a little bit. Maybe we can kind of give him some little thorns on his back. Maybe it'd be nice. That's kind of broken down the design a little bit by having these kind of spikes on his back. And again, we've got that little tail that's just sticking out there. It's really quite nice. Oh, it's a little bit of a bleed there. Let's just pull that. I do that sometimes. I just suck up something that's getting a little bit too out of hand. I think that green might be a little bit too wet to kind of play with, but it's got a really nice feeling. I like that kind of idea that it's kind of like some kind of crocodile monster with almost like a vulture on his shoulder. Like when he kills it and eats his lot, then there's a vulture there to kind of finish everything off. And that would be quite a nice, like we were talking earlier about silhouettes, you know. You've got this kind of vulture on the back of him. Let's get a little bit more thickness down onto that. So it really just divides him. kind of started off with a kind of badger's nose. Do you remember? I really quite enjoyed this. I'm going to have to do a few more monsters. Kind of break into this character, this kind of lazy but wild kind of character that's... but definitely a nice idea. I'd like to see where I could kind of take it a little bit more. I love the way he's got his kind of his arms way up, stuck up in his shoulders almost. That's really quite a nice feeling. And it's a beautiful way just to let your mind flow sometimes when you're working on these shapes. And it doesn't mean that this, you know, if you come up with a shape that you're really pleased with, you can quite honestly restructure the same drawing and think, well, what didn't I like? Okay, do I like him sitting down? No. Could I use that same shape and have him standing up? Maybe square is the wrong shape for this type of character. Maybe. And then you can start to work backwards from it. But once you've got something down, once you've always drawn something, it's so much more beautiful to kind of analyze it and work from it. I think that's kind of nice. So there we have a very, very odd creature. Kind of nice stripes to his body. It gives him that kind of wrinkly kind of feeling to his body. That's quite nice. Kind of divides the character up with this kind of scaly back and this soft, tender belly almost. And there we have it. One beautiful monster with his friend. Can we call it a friend? Let's scribble a little name down there for you. And thank you very much for watching today's drawing. Well, probably not today's drawing, because I'll probably do another one in a minute, because I think we need to explore this this character, this this kind of monster creature that I've got to come up with. But a lovely free-flowing creature, and a lot of very nice elements in it for sure. I love the fact of these little spikes on his back. I love the way his arm is up in his shoulder like this. Kind of gives him some kind of tough guy gangster feeling. Lovely. Wonderful. That is a gorgeous drawing. And I'm very happy with that. Can you see all the way down there? Let's pull it up a little bit. There we are. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll give you some close-ups in a minute so you can see a little bit more of what's happening. That would be lovely when that dries down. I might put a few more feathers, and in fact it might be dry enough now, but that's why it's like so much. Sometimes I use up so much ink in one time. It's just So exciting to put the extra lines on and build it up and build it up and build it up and build it up, you know. Beautiful. That's really nice. I'm pleased with that. Well, thank you very much. And I will show you some close-ups. And I will see you again on another drawing. Thank you very much. So there's the final thing for today's drawing. We were coming up with a fun monster. And I think that is a very fun and thick and chunky monster. There's his big chunky feet. And his little tail. And his little stumpy arm up there. And his big gnarly teeth. And his little beady eye. And then that claw on the top of his head that leads up to his very gnarly friend up there. Lovely. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. There's lots more drawings coming, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate all the subscriptions. It just means that I know who's out there and who's watching. And it makes me feel good when the numbers start to go up and I know there's more and more people there. Thank you very much. I'll see you again soon.